Recently I bought a game called Master of Command. It's a game very heavily based off of Total War, specifically Total War Empire. It's made by some YouTube people who do a history channel. The kind of people who would know how many spangles the Prussian army had in 1805 on their left arm. You are a general in the 7 Years' War, commanding an army, going to do some objective. You move across the map and slowly expand your army by completing missions to gain new recruits and conscripting them with money. You also upgrade your troops into better versions and also equip them with items and better weapons to give them special abilities or just to improve their stats. It is similar to games like XCOM and Total War. The game is divided in two. The first half, it's a roguelike. You're plopped onto a map with a giant army on the other side and a timer of 150 days before it chases you down. Now, go build up your army. Get money, veterancy and other currencies, finding events and fighting other armies. It's a Total War battle, and it looks very bad. Toy soldiers look better than this. Total War is from 2009 and it looks much better than this. I know they're going for a cartoony aesthetic and they're probably rudimentary models to save on processing power, but I've had an army of 8,000 rats in Total War without any major problems. When I got into the first few battles they felt somewhat unsatisfying. Compare cavalry charges in Total War Empire and especially Total Warhammer, but that's not historical. And it doesn't seem like it renders cannonballs, though the screen shake is cool. There are some other design decisions that are presumably made in the name of simplicity that I don't know how to feel about. Like how all the terrain is completely flat, which is a nice feature. It gets rid of the annoying line of sight issues in Total War, where your units are marching into cav to fire at them, or end up with them standing there not fighting because there's a tiny hill in between them and the enemy. But there are also hills. The terrain is still perfectly flat, but there are hills, and it doesn't make sense. The hills are just optical illusions, which is a clever move, but I feel like there's probably some clever tech way of making the hills actually 3D while still only being 2D. Also, your troops can just phase through buildings, which makes ordering them around easier, but it feels wrong. Probably because it is. Also, there is a cool feature around terrain to chain stats, so if you are on a hill, you are more accurate, or if you're half in the wall of a building, you're in cover. But it doesn't show anything for paths and water, which in these very simplified battle maps should be doing something, but it just doesn't tell you, unless it isn't, and then why are they in the map? The battles do have a lot of jank. Not bugs, but jank. Weird interactions, like how charging and attacking is not clear, and if you tell them to attack a unit card, you're actually telling them to attack the unit behind them, and it's not clear when units can shoot, or at least it doesn't tell you when they can't. Also, your units and generals are like cheerleaders for some units, they can die permanently, which isn't very fun, especially for a roguelike, where losing progress is kind of antithetical to the idea. It's got some fun bits, but the doctrines can feel a bit meaningless. Most of them focus around just barely increasing stats. A lot of them just counter each other because they often have negatives. But overall, I thought the game was quite good. Hopefully mods make it more interesting, but I don't know how big the community would be. So, yeah.